Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to introduce the GM6 Lynx.
Well, shit.
And its tactical, purpose-built carry bag. So, really cool, guys. I'll keep cutting in random shots of me shooting this thing because we're talking about a backpack here. After all, I want to keep you guys amused. But this is actually a really cool solution for making this thing man-portable, and not having to, just hump it all day yourself. So that's pretty neat. And this bag has a lot of unique features. So we're going to, we're going to cover those today. And we may as well get this out of the way early. I'm sure you guys are awfully excited. Yep. That is a man-portable 50. Possibly the coolest gun I have ever seen. And honestly, take it from me, I've got quite a few rounds through one of these things. It shoots like a dream. For a semi-automatic, shoulder-fired weapon, it is a beaut. And a big part of that is the long recoil action. This is gasless, guys. There's no gas port drilled in this thing. No gas operates this system. It's purely long recoil. The bullet leaves, the recoil pushes that barrel back in, and that soaks up a lot of that recoil and disperses it to you, the shooter, over such a much longer period of time. Just check out some of my videos shooting this thing and you will see how friggin' nice and shootable and ease of follow-up shots this thing has. And in the purposes of this video, the backpack is meant to kind of carry this thing stored. So we will go ahead and collapse the barrel. We'll put the retaining latch, and again, the button back there is what deploys it. And it'll be good to go like that. So let's carry on, shall we? So guys, something particularly unique about this setup is that it's actually 2 bags in one. And I'll explain that here. We've got our core area, which is meant for, purpose-built for the rifle, and a couple mags, and then the carrying apparatus, the straps and everything else, right? And then there's a front section that's actually removable. We'll get into all that. And this is kind of for if you want extra storage, if you're gonna be on an extended whatever, you need sleeping bag, extra gear. There's lots of space in here to do that. I'll run through this quickly just so you guys can get a feel for the whole thing, but that's more of just a nice backpack or a carry pack versus the purpose-built aspect, which is this. And as cool as this bag is, there are a few flaws that I'll point out, even just things that they could be improved pretty easily. I have a background in the textile industry, and so there's a couple things that I'll be able to point out to you guys that are A, smart, and B, just shy of the mark. Like they could be readily improved. And after that little intro, I'll give you guys a quick walk around the gun room. It's quite a mess right now. I took this down from up there, and my lower back hasn't worked up the courage to pick that back up. Also, it's just a huge mess because I kind of ripped apart that Gallotech wall to get this one set up, and that's where we're at. But it's a good time. I'm talking about like a $13,000 rifle, like a crazy expensive bag. We'll get into all that after. So I felt I should round out, that flex accordingly with, a couple other especially cool pieces. Anyways, that's neither here nor there. Literally just trying to give you guys some eye candy to keep you enthused while we go through this actually really special product. All right, guys, up top, we've got a zippered section that's covered with a nice little piece of fabric here. I like that, double zippers. This is just a handy little spot to access whatever kit you want really quickly. There are more bigger pouches on the sides. They all have nice adjustable clips, so you can get in there pretty good. There's a MOLLE all over the place on this bag, which is also handy if you want to throw on other accessory bags or something that's mission specific, whatever you need. Then we're getting down into these 2 purpose-built pouches on the front. These ones are specifically designed to work for the Lynx's single stack mags. These are really well-made mags, guys, and you could use these for other purposes as well, but they're intended to carry, 1 mag each, up top and up bottom. And there's different material in here. It's kind of been slicked up a little bit to, I think, aid in getting the mags both in and out. Now they do a pretty good job of that. It probably takes a little bit of skill getting used to that because there are still these little borders on the inside like there are on the outside, that little piping that's sewn on. And there are snag points on the mags. So, you know, there's a couple spots where I found, you know, me just putting this in and out half a dozen times, I almost always get it hung up on something, but probably not that big of a deal. Just one small critique would be to streamline that a little bit, get rid of those edges where the mag can catch. Next, we'll bust out the full front of this bag, which is just like blah, open. And again, lots of nice things going on inside here. They've got a little bit of a stabilizer shelf or whatever to kind of separate the two upper and lower compartments. So that just kind of Velcros. You can have it in or you can have it out, but it kind of Velcros in and kind of stabilizes this. There's also adjustable clip-in straps for this section. So if you're gonna throw like a sleeping bag or a jacket or something like that inside there, that'll secure it up there and out of the way and keep it from flopping around. Down here, again, you've got more little MOLLE sections. You've got a big pocket in the back. You've got pockets on both sides. And again, that MOLLE, which is just a nice touch. Getting low to check out two more cool things. Again, MOLLE for throwing on, again, another dump bag, or maybe this is where you're throwing your sleeping bag, whatever. But the cool thing is the bag comes with a parachute. Just kidding. It's actually just a quick deploy like rain cover in case, you know, a monsoon picks up and you want to keep your stuff from getting soaked. So that's pretty cool. That all just sits inside there and it's kind of retained with a little bungee so you don't lose it. And yeah, kind of neat. Definitely a clever little addition.
Holy shit. One more. Oh man, she's raining.
All right, laddies, let's split these two leadbirds apart and go into a little bit of detail on the process. So first off, we've got this little Velcro flap here. That's cool. It kind of conceals the zipper, which is nice. There's these reinforcing straps all over the bag. There's them here as well. They're non-adjustable. They're just reinforcing. A big part of what they're there for, they're also on the bottom, is they're there to keep the integrity of the bag together under the weight of the gun flopping around. So that's smart. That is smart. And as is this Velcro system, or sorry, the zipper and the Velcro system. The Velcro system, I'm gonna complain about, but it's very close. So first of all, the zipper, this is clever. They go from top to bottom. That way, gravity can't just work away at it while you're out there. This thing's flopping around, which is one other small complaint is that you can't. Actually, that'd be probably one of my bigger complaints is how loose this system is. I'd love it if you could really cinch this up nice and tight. And so this all kind of acted as one unit, not like one unit coupled to another unit because it just flops around. If you're out running around the field, you're gonna feel that a little bit if this is particularly heavy because it's kind of hanging. Now, if this is heavy, all that weight is on the zipper. And over time, what I've seen, because I've had to develop products that utilize zippers to be closed and they take a beating. And I've seen zippers blow out. And actually one thing that we've done to address this problem with our stuff is we've used a flap just like this with Velcro on it to then go across and cover that gap and actually, cinch it up tight so that the force is no longer on the zipper. It's actually on the Velcro, and the zipper is just a quick way of opening or closing this, whatever this product is, right? So the problem is with this system, the only way to cinch it up is if you're basically not on Velcro anymore. If you're going fully Velcro on Velcro, there's a huge gap in here and all the pressure's on the zipper, which if you're running around in the bush, this thing is jiggling and it's heavy. Over time, you could see a failure there. And then it's gonna fall back to this system, which is then gonna hang off even further and compound the issue. It's if something is strapped down and nice and tight, it can't get momentum and put extra force on something. But if something's floppy and loose, every time it can kind of like rebound and put all that inertial energy, boom, into something. So that's my super nitty gritty complaint about this, or a suggestion to improve, because they're so close. They could literally just put more Velcro on here. And for a 2-foot piece of 2-inch Velcro, you're talking a couple bucks to get that on there and sewn on, like nothing at all to make that a better system. This is literally just gonna clip right off, and then boom, you have this thing fully separated. Pop the camera out, and that's your top bag. The back, as you can see, is all flat, They could also do something like Velcro on here or something that would, help pick it up a bit more, but there's different methods that they could use to tighten the system up. But overall, it's a very fascinating system that I'm overall quite impressed with. And there again, that's that little zipper flap down here with the the parachute. All right, down to the core of the bag. Let's take a closer look. All right, so as you can see, we've got a repeat of the magazine carriers, one up top, one on bottom, and that's pretty slick. This feels quite durable. Quite a fan of that. You've got a side carrying case over here. I've got a sock on here just to protect the finish of the gun against this little thing right here. I didn't really want it marking it up too badly. And again, more of those straps. And that's pretty much it. It's a little bit more featureless because this is kind of just like grab the gun and go bag, not a full kit out system. Now, in terms of securing the Lynx itself, we have, well, these two little straps, again, those are more so just for the integrity of the bag, but you can open them up, get a little bit more access. And there's this Velcro loop, double-sided Velcro strap, which you can get pretty tight. And that's basically all that's securing the rifle in there. With that out, the whole rifle just pops right out of the bag. So you can see that a little closer here. It's pretty good. Like, it's pretty well. They've made some efforts to really get this in nice and tight. And actually, there's another little strap in here as well. I have found when running around with this thing, the rifle does shift side to side a little bit, and there isn't a lot more inside the bag to strap it down. And I can appreciate why, because you wouldn't want to be fumbling, way down in the guts of the bag, trying to undo some strap down there. So that's really, I can appreciate why they've done what they've done there. But this is pretty solid. This is a good system here, and I think it works pretty well. I've got quite a bit of trust in how durable the system is. I don't have much reason to doubt it. That would really just take the test of time to see how durable of a connection that is. Again, you're going to prolong the life of this if you strap your rifle in nice and tight. If it's loose and constantly jamming against these restraints, these reinforcements, that's going to accelerate wear and tear on the system. Again, you've got a nice little carry pack right there, or hanging loop. We've got a reinforced carry handle on the side. And then let's take a look at the straps. So I actually found out after running around outside a little bit that I could snug up this connection a little bit by running that loop from the secondary bag in through this Velcro hook up here. Actually worked not too bad. All right, guys, this is the part of the bag that's probably one of the most important, because this is what you as the user literally connect with and strap into. So I'm gonna go through this pretty quick, but there's a lot going on here. There's some stuff they do really well, and a couple things they could do a little better that would really just level this thing up to the top tier, that everything, like the design and the intention about this bag is. So for starters, we got straps. They're nice and wide, they're padded. That's good. That helps disperse that weight if you're carrying this thing for a long time. You don't want these things digging into your shoulders. Now, I think in general, this piping, it's a little old school. It's single stitched. I'm gonna docket some marks there. I think they could have done, well, just taking a page out of Camelback's book. These guys make some incredible straps. This is my go-to bag for just kind of life. I use this thing a ton, and it looks like it does the day I pulled it out of the bag. Really good straps here, denser foam. It's still a wide strap. It's very comfortable. They do some good stuff in here with webbing, because webbing doesn't break down even if you move it a whole bunch and flex it around, whereas traditionally this, wood, the foam would degrade. So they've separated that, which is super smart. And they've used double stitching and reinforcements in the areas that count. Now, I just think that they've done that here too. They've got like a reinforcing strap in some of these spots, where you've got these cross clips to lock in, and they've got all the clips, which is good. I just think that the straps themselves are a little lackluster for something that is this elite and in this price range. Nonetheless, they've got it secured to the back really well. They've got some straps here so you can actually snug this up, which is smart. I do like that very much. There's a lot of user adjustability here. And we've got some shoulder padding sections here, which is nice. You're not gonna feel that rifle slamming into your back. They've actually got removable padded sections down here, which are cool, and they got double-sided Velcro, so you can double them up in certain areas if you need to, which is, again, pretty cool. I mean, the manufacturing detail on these could be tighter, could be cleaner. Again, this, just in general, feels more like a dry eraser versus You know, all the straps, all the stitching on this bag is just like, just oozes quality and workmanship. The cummerbund aspect of this bag is again, it's pretty solid as well. It's got an overlapping, you know, foam pad, so you're not gonna have this buckle digging into your waist. That's good. It's a big buckle, easy to manipulate as I struggle. There we go. It was just stuck in the flap there, but no, that's all good. It's adjustable. A lot of good stuff here, guys. A lot of good stuff. She is hot. Let's try to do this a little more freehand. Guys, closing thoughts on this system. I think this thing is really freaking cool. I mean, it's a backpack for a freaking semi-automatic bullpup 50 cal, tailor suited for that, which I think is just insanely cool. Now, feature-wise, this bag is super ambitious, and honestly, I think it pulls off a lot of those things really well. I shy of a couple things that I've pointed out that I think would be enhancements to the bag from the point of the features, or for durability. And at the end of the day, this bag was designed for military and law enforcement, and that's what they care about. They care about function and durability. They don't really give a shit if it looks Gucci like my Camelback bag. Not a crazy feature-rich bag. I mean, it's got a hydration pack, but that's really about it. And it just does all the little things really well. And that's what I think is holding back this bag. Again, for military LEO, a couple durability things that I've mentioned that they could bump up, but other than that, I think this thing works. Now, from a commercial user's point of view, who's just dropped like 12, 13 grand US on the Lynx, which you guys saw that action. That thing is freaking cool, and it's a serious rifle. And the other thing is, guys, the fit and finish on the Lynx is actually really good. So it's guys are spending 10, 11, 12 on a Barrett. They're going to spend 13 on the Lynx. And when they're getting the Lynx, the kind of guys who are going to drop that cash on that thing aren't going to be afraid to throw a couple greenbacks at one of these, even with the price tag of like 1,000 euros, which is freaking nuts. But again, consider this. The things driving up the cost of this bag are A, the specialization, the amount of customization that this bag has present in it, and then the amount of R&D and design that took that, and then B, the low quantity that this thing is being produced and sold in. This is a very specialized, very niche piece of kit. It's produced as an optional accessory for a super niche rifle. So that right there is pretty telling. They're not going to be selling tons of these to recoup their costs and their overhead. With that said, the actual materials and workmanship that go into building this bag are probably a very small component of the price you're paying in the end. So therefore, as an end consumer, I wouldn't be against throwing another $100 or something pretty immaterial in the overall cost of this thing at the bag to get it to look like this, to get this level of finishing work and detail. Because I think that's pretty much all it would take. It'd be pretty marginal in the grand scheme of things to really bump this up to that next level. And I think even at the price point that it's at, even a law enforcement agency probably wouldn't say no to that. So I got this bag sent to me by the distributor for content review purposes. That's pretty standard. I did also request it because I think it's a freaking cool piece of kit. And given all the other Lynx content I've done, I just thought it'd be the perfect fit to do. And I think with growing demand stateside for the rifle, just given the fit and finish of the gun, I think a lot of guys on the commercial side anyways are gonna want this. This is a really cool piece of kit. And when you're going with this specialized of a platform, I think it makes sense. But given the price point, I think guys are they're gonna expect a higher level of fit and finish. And I think Sero owes it to the Lynx. I mean, this thing is done so well. It's so clean and tight. A purpose-built Lynx-specific piece of kit should fit in with it. So I'm gonna place that bet that they're gonna do that. And guys, this also came with 2 other bonus pieces of kit that I will go through here last. Also, I showed it at the beginning. I didn't really cover it after that. It's also got a little topper here that connects through these clips into those clips right on the end there as well. And this is kind of to cover the top end of the rifle. If it's raining or dusty or whatever, you're gonna keep the rifle clean. Or if you just don't want to look like you've got a 50 cal strapped to your back, that's a nice way of being a little more discreet with it. There is another bonus piece of kit here as well. It's basically a little carry handle for the gun. So we'll get that thrown on and I'll show you how that works as well. Well, it's interesting. I'll give it that. It does carry the rifle. I don't have it quite right, but this would be in the compact, I guess, version. And I don't know. It's kind of interesting. I should actually have the barrel extended, the bipod deployed, and these should all be moved one forward. So this should be here, this should be in the trigger housing, and this one should be there. But that's still kind of a neat thing. And guys, if that wasn't enough for you, there's one more bonus with this system. And I have to say, I've found better surprises at the bottom of a box of Cracker Jacks. I will admit that's a bit rude, and I'll explain myself. However, I just think, while the idea behind the shoulder strap is good, and I think it's cool to include it, I think the execution is really poor. And I say that comparing it to the rest of their extremely well thought out and unique system. There's a lot of cool stuff going on here, guys, that's not typical, and they've sought to provide a unique solution for a very complicated device. And that's good. Kudos to them for that. I just think, you know, I would have almost left this out or gotten something else to do with it. So it attaches to the rifle with sling loops. I mean, the sling loops are a little 1960s, but I can kind of take that because this isn't like a Gucci'd out AR-15 that really necessitates the QD anti-rotation swivels. So, I mean, that's fine. And then the attachment method is pretty sturdy, so again, no problems there. My problems were kind of with the padding and just a little, it feels like it's off like a $30 Walmart backpack. And primarily though, the strap itself. You can see that this is a layer of polypro webbing with soft Velcro sandwiched on the other side. And coming from a guy in the textiles industry, this is sloppy. This is sloppy, it just doesn't scream quality. This is literally how raw Velcro comes off the roll, and I don't like it, and I don't understand why they needed to do this. Like, I can appreciate they wanted to have an adjustable strap, and Velcro makes it adjustable, but it's 2020, and there's a lot of other ways that are tasteful and clean to accomplish this, and don't make me want to throw up in my mouth. And for the small price of not being able to adorn this with literally every morale patch I own, I would rather not taste chuff. And lock tactical, and perfect. HK to finish it off. No room for Baby Yoda, but you know what, guys? I'm actually kind of digging this. There might be something to this after all. Here we go. Guys, that's about it for the day. Thank you so much for sticking with me through a rather long video going through a really interesting piece of kit. And that's about it. If you guys enjoyed the content, please like, comment, subscribe, share, do all the things. They all really do help out the channel. And if you want to go the extra mile, hit me up on Patreon. A couple cool perks there. You can message me directly, like a chap from Texas just did, who was actually importing a GM6 Lynx direct from Sero in Hungary. And funny enough, the ATF were like, yo, we need some pictures of any markings on the receiver and other parts. So he hit me up, asked me for some pictures. I took like 5 days to get back to him, but then I did. And he is set to go, I believe, at this point. If you want to get your other guns not from Hungary, hit up Nick at Tactical Imports. He can probably take care of you from there. And guys, that is it. We'll have some good content with this thing in the winter. And yeah, Arm&Gun out.